Hello, my audience. Greetings. So, I'm making a review today now on... Let's get a seat. Oh. Excuse me. Still waking up. So, this is going to be my review on, Spider-Man 2. So, this movie is, a bit of a mess. But again, so is it pretty much every good Steven Seagal movie. Because the one thing McGuire and Steven Seagal has taught us, you don't need to act. As in, you don't need to try to act. You just can just stare as a blank buffoon and do your action while staring in the distance and barely looking invested in the movie or the plot, whatever's going on. Yeah. I want to say the Steven Seagal, this movie reminds me of the most is Under Siege 2. But I think Under Siege 2 was a more funnier movie. And a better movie than Spider-Man 2. Overall. If I remember, one was shorter. I think that was Steven Seagal movie. At least it felt shorter because I watched it. When I watched it versus this movie. If I remember correctly, the ones that drags on more, I think this movie drags on more. Spider-Man 2. So, the action's good. Shot well, action better this time than last time for the first compared to the first installment. This time, Dr. Octopus is the villain. And, Spider-Man is losing his powers for some unexplained reason. Off and on is not working consistently, so he gives the mantle to beat Spider-Man because he can be with the one he loves now. Even though she's about to get married and engaged for a while. Throughout the whole movie, she's been engaged and getting married right around the corner. So he thinks he can just get the girl now because he doesn't have to be Spider-Man. Yay! But not realizing this is entering stalker territory. Unhealthy stalker relationship territory. And Peter doesn't think it's that simple, thinking that because she's with another man and engaged, they cannot be together. He doesn't think that's that simple. Peter says. See, that's a sign of a stalker, ladies and gentlemen. When one doesn't understand what no means, that means they're trying to get on to you and violate you. Ladies, learn to say no with mace. Kristen Dunst entry should carry a big thing of mace for Peter. You know, pepper spray. Psst. Spray on Peter's eyes. Blind him. That'll teach him to get off your ass. Why doesn't MJ do that? Well, she still has the heart certificate because she likes Spider-Man more than her fiance. But, you know, he's one of those gay guys that can't always be there because he's Spider-Man, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? Anyway, by the third act ending, they end up together after MJ dishes her own wedding in her wedding dress. And leaves a cold-hearted bitch note to her fiance, breaking up with him instead of in person. What a heartless whore. That cunt is so mean to do that to him. And he seemed like a nice guy. He didn't seem like a bad guy doing anything wrong. He wasn't abusive or anything, toxic person. But he's too good for MJ. And, so instead of MJ breaking up with him properly in person, she decides to leave a little, fuck you note. I'm breaking up with you, go to Peter. What an asshole she can be. Anyway, the plot is being bearable and stupid, as I explained, of this movie. Somehow this is a more stupid plot than the last one. And half-baked than the last one more of a plot. But that doesn't matter. We don't watch this movie because it makes sense or compelling or good. We just watch it because of the explosion actions that are shot. Because if you really analyze anything, everything will suck. And you would want to throw yourself out a window because of the stupidity, dick, that you're constantly being hit in the head with by Sam Raimi's dick. Ego, filmmaking, creative craft. Is what it feels like when you're analyzing it. When you're watching it and then realizing, my god, there's nothing good about the action, there's nothing good about this movie except the fucking action. And the visual effects are good still, but, what's the point? As a comic book movie, it's beyond stupid. I call it. But as a movie, it's just popcorn movie, guilty pleasure. I give it a 6 out of 10. Because, well, the action is more shot in this, better shot, direct. This movie's better direct was the action. Was making out the geography of the action shots. The action doesn't happen as often with Spider-Man action. It's like more toned down to make way for the compelling storytelling that Sam Raimi thinks he's a genius. But I think that genius left his brain a long time ago. Whatever genius creative ideas he came up with that worked in the past, no longer working anymore. So instead of, taking inspiration from the comics, he just thinks against, it would just be better if he just does from the original as the character. Telling a story with the character instead of, yes. Look, this movie's bullshit. You know how James Cameron Avatar sucks in his original idea from 2009 Avatar movie? The first one? What was I going to say? This movie's not as bad as James Cameron's Avatar. But, That's mostly because I'm not reviewing this movie in that video. This video, I'm not reviewing James Cameron's Avatar, I'm reviewing Spider-Man 2. So I'm trying to be brief with my example. The point is, this has a benefit. This is a... The point is, look, I think I might have given this movie a 6 out of 10, but I'm not sure if I want to give this I think this is a 6 out of 10. Because not a whole lot of action happens in this movie, and the story's pretty retarded. And the acting's not great, and the acting never was great in the first one, but here it's like, give me more action and less drama, less story, because Sam Raimi cannot tell a story anymore, any more than M. Night Shyamalan could to save his life for a filmmaker career. Like, you know how M. Night Shyamalan can't tell a good, compelling story to save his career? Well, that's who Sam Raimi's become. People might have noticed this in the malts with Spider-Man 3 and the Multiverse of Madness, but I noticed this with the first Spider-Man movie, and Spider-Man 2 knows that with Sam Raimi doesn't know how to make a good movie anymore. That's a 3-act structure story. But knows how to make a good spectacle, I guess, shot. But that's the only thing he was focused on, I think. Well, this has perks on connecting to Elseworlds story in the MCU. Yes, this Spider-Man Maguire trilogy Elseworlds story Earth within the MCU, thanks to No Way Home of Maguire cameo playing his respective Spider-Man from his universe. And that's why I think Spider-Man 2 gives a 6 out of 10 guilty pleasure popcorn movie. Because I failed to say anything good about this, even though it's a guilty pleasure of a popcorn movie. Not a whole lot of good things I can say about this movie, but it's not terrible, the worst piece of shit in the world. On the other hand, so it is a Spider-Man movie, but on the other hand, it is a movie adaptation, so what can you expect other than horseshit? Unoriginal, inspiring crap. I mean, not inspiring crap. Or maybe it is inspiring crap, but it's because I can't help but feel like this, we haven't got that much better with speaking comic book shit. We either gotten worse or stay the same. I'm not sure. So, that's my review on Spider-Man 2. on why I give it a 6 out of 10. Did this movie really need to be made when we got the ending of the first Spider-Man movie, how it wrapped up? Because he just didn't go for the girl because due to his duties as Spider-Man. And, you know, then this one's saying, to retcon the events of the first movie for a fucking reason to squeeze the money off of this character. It just sounds kind of stupid. Now that I'm saying it out loud. The whole plot is just stupid. That this movie was made. Now I'm saying it out loud. I realize how pointless and stupid that this movie got made. Yeah, I made money. I apparently made money. Goodbye. Subscribe. Like this video. Please do that. And next video. I'll see you in the next video.